So for today's mini lesson, we are going to be writing factored polynomial equations from zeros. So one way in which we can get zeros is from a graph such as Desmos, and then we can take those zeros to solve them into factored form to create a factored function or a factored equation. So for this question, it says find the factored function given the zeros x equals -2, 0, 2 over 3, and 5. Now I do have a couple reminders here. First reminder, zeros are x-intercepts, as I just mentioned. And if we are going from zeros to factors, our goal is to get an equals 0. That's how we can convert these into factors. So to be able to do this, our first step is to take these zeros and set each of them equal to x so we can solve it to be ultimately equal to 0. So my first 0 is -2, so I'm going to write x equals -2. Second one is 0, so x equals 0. Third one is 2 over 3, so x equals 2 over 3. And lastly 5, so x equals 5. Now from here, we're going to solve all of these to be equal to 0 because that is our goal when we're writing them into factors. So to be able to do this, we're going to start with our first one, x equals -2. I want this to be equal to 0, meaning I need to do inverse operations to move this -2 to the other side of our equal sign. So to do this, we are going to add 2 over. X plus 2 doesn't combine, so we'll just put them next to each other as x plus 2 equals -2 plus 2 gives me that 0. We have just reached the goal of it equaling 0, meaning this x plus 2 is a factor. So that one's done. Now we're going to just repeat the process. Again, our goal is to make it equal to 0. So our next factor is x equals to 0. Well, wait a second. Sorry, our next 0 is equal to 0. If it's already equal to 0, we already reached our goal, meaning we don't actually need to do anything for this question. We can just claim x as our factor. So for this one, x is the factor. On to the next 0. We have x equals 2 over 3. So again, our goal is to make it equal to 0. We're going to do inverse operations. Right now, 2 over 3 is a fraction, which is division. We need to undo the division using the inverse of multiplication. Right now it says dividing 3, so we're going to do the opposite, which is multiplying by 3. 3 times x gives me 3x equals, and then 2 over 3 times 3. The 3 in the denominator and the multiplying by 3 becomes a 1, leaving just the numerator, 2. Now we still have not reached the goal of equal to 0. We need to move that 2 over. The inverse is to subtract 2. 3x minus 2 does not combine, so we're going to just put them next to each other. And then now 2 minus 2 gives me 0. So we have 3x minus 2 equals 0. We reached our goal. It is equal to 0, which means 3x minus 2 is our factor. Okay, last one. We have the 0, x equals 5. Again, our goal is to make it equal to 0. I need to move this 5 to the other side by subtracting, so -5 minus 5. X minus 5 does not combine, so I'll just put them next to each other. 5 minus 5 is 0. So now we have reached our goal of equaling 0, which means our x minus 5 is our factor. So we have officially found all of our factors. X plus 2, x, 3x minus 2, and x minus 5. Once we have found all of our factors, our next step is to take it into factored function or a factored form. So we are writing an actual equation here. So to start a generic equation, we're going to do f of x equals, and then we are going to just set all of these factors in their parentheses next to each other because factored forms means that they are being multiplied together. Now, with multiplication, order does not matter. However, when we write our factors, there is a specific type of factor that should go first to make it proper. And that is when we have a factor of just x. So the second 0 that we solved for, we got a factor of just x. We want that one to go first. Again, this is just so we can have it be proper. So I am going to make a little note as our reminder. When there is an x as a factor, It must go first. Again, this is just to be proper with our answer. After we put that x as the first factor, if there is one, all the other factors can just go in order behind it. So just going to go down the list. We have x plus 2 in parentheses, 3x minus 2 in parentheses, and lastly, x minus 5 in parentheses. So now we have completed our factored function equation. This is it, and we are done. Thank you.